This guy has no savings, so you better stop.
All right. I'll make you bento boxes.
Eh? Even without eating expensive food or going to a luxurious theme park, just talking to her makes me feel fulfilled. I always thought I was lucky to be able to feel happy enough with such trivial things. You're reading a book again today. Is this one a good find?
Yes. It's the grand prize winner of a newcomer award, and it's really interesting. So I end up reading it without realizing. But once I read it, it'll be over, right? When I think about that, I feel it's a waste. I can't know the ending without reading on, but it's complicated.
With a soft, elegant smile, she's my senior, a year older than me, Shinori Fusamoto. As you can see, she's a literary girl. Originally, she was active in the sales department and brought in great numbers, but she recently transferred here to the general affairs department. Despite the different department, her accurate and fast work hasn't changed, and many colleagues praise her, saying it's exactly what you'd expect from her.
It's been a while since I've had such contradictory feelings. Well, I'm going to read it anyway.
It's rare to find a work that makes you feel that way, so I'm glad you found it. I'm Chihaya Kuranaga, basking in the faint joy of such a small conversation with her. I'm 25 years old, and also work in the general affairs department of this company. Like everyone else, I originally had business interactions with her, and felt trust and a good impression towards her. Since we ended up in the same department, our conversations have increased, and maybe it's just me, but the distance between us seems to have shrunk, and before I knew it, she had stolen my heart.
Oh, by the way, Chihaya, if it's alright with you, would you like to go out together sometime? I'd like to talk with you more slowly.
Is that okay? If you're fine with me.
This guy has no savings, so you better stop.
The one who ruined this ticklish but blissfully happy atmosphere was my peer in the sales department, Kinji Mandai.
Even though our salary is average, how on earth do you spend it not to have even a little bit of savings? I'm not saying you should have as much money as me, but aren't you a bit too bad at spending money?
To put it bluntly, Mandai is rich. No, nouveau rich might be a better way to say it. The reason is that a month ago, he hit the win 5 at the horse races he went to with his friends, showing his beginner's luck. He got about 20 million yen in one day, and disproportionately dipped his toes into the world of the wealthy. Ever since then, he's been frequenting hostess clubs and playing around with women just to have them listen comfortably to his bragging about money.
I could treat you to dinner as much as you want, and buy you everything you want. No matter how you think about it, I'm the one who can make you happier, right? It's not strange at all to change your mind and think that a person with money is better.
Mandai probably doesn't like that a beautiful woman like Shinori is getting closer to someone lower in status like me, but...
Are you done talking? Then could you go over there?
Humph, well, fine. If you still think I'm bitter, just let me know anytime, okay?
She wasn't swayed at all, even when he hinted at a dizzying amount of savings. I felt renewed respect and a secret joy at her dignified attitude. One day, while we were discussing where to go on our first date with my heart leaping with joy, I was cautious about Mandai, but who could have imagined that a completely different incident would happen?
Chihaya! I'm going on a business trip to a joint research facility near your house for 2 weeks. I'll be there in 3 days. Let me stay at your place.
Huh? 3 days? You didn't tell me about this, sis. The one who called me so abruptly that my eyes almost popped out was my sister, 3 years older than me, Mao Kuranaga. If I explained that she's a researcher working at a chemical manufacturer, would many people be convinced of this eccentric personality? That's why I'm telling you to let me know in advance when you're staying over. Even if you tell me so suddenly, I'm not ready, and I haven't even cleaned up.
Don't say that. I don't care if your room is messy or if you have books lying around that you don't want Mom to see.
Stop with the weird misunderstandings.
You're quite sly yourself. I think I'll arrive at night. Well, I'm counting on you.
Sis, wait. She hung up. Ah, jeez. She really hasn't changed a bit since the old days. My sister is beautiful, but I remember she's had this personality since I was old enough to understand. She's a science girl who has a particular weakness for science and experiments, so it was a natural progression for her to go to a science university and get a research job. I'm sure she's a good person. Well, if it's for work, it can't be helped. By the way, because of this personality, she doesn't have a boyfriend, but she doesn't seem to care. While feeling nostalgia and exasperation for my sister who goes her own way, I started cleaning up my room to secure living space for her.
I may be a bit of a handful, but I'll be in your care.
You really are a handful, and I didn't even have a veto right. Time passed as I kept busy with work and cleaning my room, and finally, my sister invaded.
Ooh, these shoes are cool. You've got some really nice ones. Where did you buy them?
Listen to me! My house, which was just a place to rest my tired body from work, suddenly became noisy with the temperature rising by one person.
I'll put my luggage here.
It looks like I'm already running out of space.
Women need a lot of luggage. Remember that. And then, etc., etc. Don't worry. I'll properly pay the utility bills.
Well, I have a mountain of things to worry about more than the utility bills. I hope that etc. doesn't include any dangerous chemicals. Hey, what's with that silence?
Now, as an expert, I guarantee the safety. I told you before that my experiments are guaranteed to succeed, right? I never fail, as they say.
You've got to be kidding me. Can I survive these 2 weeks? It's the words of my sister, who's a professional and good at her job, so the safety is backed up. But can I really trust someone from the bottom of my heart who brings suspicious chemicals into someone else's house?
Well, I had the option of staying at a hotel, but I was worried about how my little brother was doing. I heard you go back to our parents' house sometimes, but since I haven't seen you, I got worried.
Sis.
Well, since I'm staying here, leave the chores to me. You need a breather sometimes, right? And, all right. I'll make you bento boxes.
Yeah?
Look, even convenience store bentos add up to a lot if you eat them every day, right?
Well, that's,
Don't be shy. Leave things like this completely to your big sister.
She probably means it as a thank you, but spare me. This must be what they mean by a headache that hurts, I thought as my stomach started to hurt along with my head. I'm sorry, Shinori, did I make you wait? A few days later, after I politely declined her bento boxes and spent my days with my stomach aching due to my sister who lacks common sense. It was 10 minutes before we were supposed to meet, but Shinori was already at the park, so I hurried over, feeling guilty.
No, don't worry about it. It's spring, so I thought it wouldn't be bad to read a book outside, so I came early and was reading. Well then, shall we go?
I thank God that the sky cleared up without a cloud. Today, with the pleasant spring weather, is my first date with Shinori.
Thank you for indulging my selfishness. I heard this cafe has a lot of books, and I've always wanted to come here once.
We arrived at a small cafe, my body a little stiff from spending our first private time together. In addition to enjoying chatting with friends, it seems you can freely read the books on the shelves and even buy them if you like them.
It really has a wonderful atmosphere. But I'm sorry to drag you along to my hobby.
She says that, but knowing Shinori, she probably chose a relatively inexpensive entertainment considering I don't have much money to spare. Not at all. I wanted to come here too. Do you come to places like this often?
Yes, of course I like reading. But aren't you satisfied just having books around? It's a little embarrassing to say this, but when I go to a library or a book cafe, I like to gather the books I'm interested in for now, put them all on my lap, and read them. I can't possibly read them all, but just having them there somehow makes me happy.
I see. Come to think of it, you often write your schedule down at work too.
Come to think of it, maybe that's why I prefer paper planners too. That's right. Nowadays, it's more accurate and convenient to manage it electronically, but handwriting suits me best after all. Just having it makes me feel more focused, or rather, it raises my motivation for work.
I understand. Nowadays, we tend to choose electronic ones due to space issues, but the sense of satisfaction is just different when you have the physical book or planner, right?
Exactly! I'm glad you understand.
The more we talk, the more of our true self, which I hadn't known before, is revealed. My eyes were glued to Shinori as she laughed happily, and every single word I exchanged with her made my heart soar. Wow, the idea is so unique. I didn't know you could draw such a wonderful picture book with colored pencils. Well, after enjoying chatting to our heart's content at the cafe, we showed interest in handmade picture books we found at a nearby general store, and enjoyed hot dogs we bought from a food truck together.
It's delicious.
And when the sun started to set, the last place we went to was a privately owned Italian restaurant. I really wish I could have treated you to a more delicious dinner, I'm sorry. After deciding on our orders, I couldn't help but feel inadequate, wishing I had more money, and furrow my brows.
Don't worry about it. Just being able to go out with Chihaya was fun enough for me. Besides, you mentioned that you bought a car to help with caregiving, right?
Yes, my grandparents are already over 80 years old. I originally had student loans to pay off, but I thought there might be something I could do to help, so I bought a car. As a result, paying off both my student loans and the car loan overlapped, and I haven't been able to save much money.
I think it's really wonderful that you care so much about your family. You really are very reliable. And, just like always, I'll pay for my own share at this restaurant too. I am your senior after all. I'd lose face if you treated me. So let me save face here, okay?
Thank you very much, Shinori. The way she chose her words so I wouldn't feel indebted, her consideration. The reasons why I like her piled up in my heart, one by one.
By the way, I was a little curious about something. Chihaya, did something change about you recently?
What do you mean by changed? At the unexpected question, I tilted my head. Could it be that my feelings for her had overflowed?
Your shirts are ironed, and you've started to smell nice. It seems like your grooming has become neater, hasn't it? I wondered if something happened.
I was surprised by her sudden point, but I immediately thought of a reason. Ah, that's because my sister is staying over at my house for work reasons.
Your sister? Chihaya, you had a sister?
Yes, actually. My grooming probably changed because my sister has been taking care of various things as her lodging fee.
You had new shoes, too. Do you perhaps have someone you like? Could it be the person you were messaging the other day?
No, that's...
When's the date? Did you decide on your clothes? Did you cut your nails? What about skincare? I have some lotion samples, so use these.
So, my sister, who sharply sensed the signs of spring from me, has been meddling with me at every opportunity, but... I couldn't possibly tell Shinori that, so I cleared my throat once to brush off the embarrassment. Women really are amazing, like my sister, to notice even things like this. If I don't look unseemly today, it's definitely thanks to my sister.
So that's what it was. She must be a wonderful person who cares deeply about her younger brother. I'd love to meet your sister someday.
I'm sorry to say she's not an elegant sister like you, Shinori. But if you say so, I'll ask her next time. We spent a long time together, but strangely, I didn't get bored. On the contrary, as the end approached, my reluctance to part grew stronger. We promised to definitely go out somewhere again, and with a lingering feeling, our first date came to a close. I said I'd ask my sister, but still. The day after spending such a fulfilling time, I worked hard driven by the fun memories, but at the same time, I was at a loss. I can only see a future where my sister causes trouble for Shinori. But if I dawdle, it might cause a weird misunderstanding. What should I do? As I was walking through the common area of the office building, thinking of a peaceful way to introduce the two of them.
How about we have dinner together tonight? I found a good restaurant.
I caught sight of Mandai aggressively hitting on Shinori, who clearly had her brows furrowed.
Oh, of course it's all my treat, so feel free to order whatever delicious things you'd like.
Like I said, I have no intention of accepting your invitation. Don't you understand? Or rather, your income hasn't increased. Is it okay to spend money at that pace?
It's fine because I'll hit the jackpot at the horse races again. I have a rare talent for hitting the win 5.
Shinori is uncomfortable. If you want to attract her, how about learning some more manners before showing off your money, Mandai? If Shinori wanted this herself, there'd be no place for me to step in. But since she's clearly disliking it, I couldn't just ignore it. I stood in front of her, hiding her behind my back.
Chihaya?
What? It's you? A guy with no savings stepping in so arrogantly? Can you really make Shinori happy when you're so pathetic you can't even treat her to a meal?
Just because you have money doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. Thinking that expensive meals and gifts always leads to happiness is just arrogance. You should throw away that conceit right now and look at her for who she is.
Don't act tough. It's obvious that even Shinori prefers someone with money. Because most of the happiness can be bought with money. Not being able to buy what you want is nothing but misfortune, right?
From Mandai's perspective, yesterday's day might have been poor and miserable. But I was truly happy, and I believe the smiles Shinori showed were genuine.
Try saying your savings amount, Kuranaga. How many times your money do you think I have? There might even be a gap of over 10,000 times.
What about the savings amount? It's a shame, but the happiness I seek is something money can't buy. Actually, getting cocky over money you got purely by luck without accomplishing anything yourself is just ridiculous.
What? Ridiculous?
Wouldn't it be better to stop here so you don't lower your dignity any further?
Mandai's face contorted in frustration. Even so, unable to throw away his sense of superiority, he stepped forward as if he couldn't take it anymore. Right at that moment.
Ooh! Is this the girl you said you Oops! My mouth slipped.
Huh? I heard a voice that shouldn't have been there, and my thoughts stopped for a moment. Sis? Why are you here?
I just had someone guide me here. Man, we got along great after talking for a bit.
In other words, she was escorted to the front of the room and came right in. Oh my god.
Who are you?
I'm sorry, Shinori. This is my sister I told you about the other day. What are you doing here, sis?
I haven't fallen so low as to come here without a reason. I had the day off today, so I brought you a bento.
No, I didn't ask you to. My sister came here, of course, not because she was thinking of her precious little brother and delivering a bento.
This is a brilliant idea, even if I say so myself. Delivering a bento and taking a peek at the person Chihaya likes while I'm at it. Plus, my reputation will go up too. What a perfect plan.
Yes, she merely schemed to get a glimpse of the woman I have a crush on, and came to my office unannounced, armed with the plausible excuse of delivering a bento. Well, but I already bought a bento, so while I appreciate the thought...
Really? Well then...
After thinking for a moment, my sister's gaze smoothly slid over. At the end of it was...
Me?
Mandai, who couldn't keep up with the conversation.
Here. I also have lunch plans for the afternoon, so I can't eat it. It'd be a waste to throw it away, so how about you take it? You can just leave the empty box with Chihaya.
Smiled at by my sister, who's beautiful at least in appearance. Mandai's heart fluttered like a page out of youth.
Homemade bento? I've never received one from anyone. Could it be love at first sight? I'm wearing an expensive suit, so people who know can tell. Money really is justice. Is that so? Well then, I'll gratefully...
Wait, Mandai? My sister's bento is...
Now, Kuranaga. I understand you're jealous, but since you already bought a bento, you're out of luck. Since your sister went out of her way to ask me to eat it.
Thank you. Well, Chihaya, good luck with your work and your romance.
My sister, having achieved her goal, left like a storm. Mandai was in a great mood after getting an unexpected harvest. My stomach ached sharply from those two not listening to me, and the kindness of Shinori, who asked, "Are you okay?" out of worry, really touched my heart. About an hour passed, during the lunch break when the atmosphere in the company had relaxed a bit. A scream that sounded like a crime scene echoed through the office, but I wasn't surprised. Why? Because Mandai, who had triumphantly eaten my sister's bento, had merely let out a scream and fallen out of his chair. I knew this would happen. Actually, my sister's cooking is disastrous. She always entertains my tongue with a wide variety of stimulating flavors. No, attacks it. That's why I tried to stop Mandai and subtly rejected my sister's bento. She wouldn't go as far as to put toxic chemicals in it, but my sister's use of seasonings is a complete mess.
Acetic acid and sodium chloride, but this alone doesn't seem to have enough depth of flavor. I know! Ethanol is the secret ingredient, and then...
Hey, you haven't been putting weird stuff in there, have you?
Oh, it's fine. Do you think I've ever failed at mixing chemicals? Cooking is science, right? Since I made it, success is guaranteed, so leave it to me. Besides, you're probably tired from work, so wouldn't glucose, which is absorbed faster than sucrose, be better? I'm a genius.
My sister, who's active as a researcher, has a mysterious confidence in her cooking. To make matters worse, she's convinced it'll be a success and doesn't taste test it, which makes it even worse. By the way, according to what I heard later, acetic acid is vinegar, sodium chloride is table salt, ethanol is sake, sucrose is sugar, and glucose is grape sugar. I did try to warn him, though. In other words, my sisters gave the bento to Mandai entirely out of goodwill, but it unexpectedly ended up punishing him. I learned through an unexpected real-life example that the arrogance brought about by money can sometimes ruin a person.
I went through a terrible ordeal.
Unable to bear it, Mandai rushed to the restroom and desperately rinsed his mouth at the sink. His mouth, which had been experiencing a massive traffic jam of flavors, was finally washed out, and his body trembled with anger.
Damn it, what the hell was with that bento? The taste was a complete mess. Kuranaga, you must have known this would happen. I won't let him get away with this.
Clenching his teeth, Mandai strode out of the restroom with the anger swirling at the bottom of his stomach. His destination was, of course, me.
Mandai.
However, Shinori was waiting for Mandai outside the restroom.
Shinori, did you come because you were worried about me? That guy Kuranaga is terrible, right? If I knew this would happen, I wouldn't have eaten it.
He probably thought she was disgusted with me for not stopping my sister, and came out of concern for him. Mandai was delighted to think so, but Shinori's eyes suddenly became cold as ice.
Don't flatter yourself. If I let you go, you'd take your anger out on Chihaya over the bento, wouldn't you? Even though he tried to stop you. That's why I skipped lunch to come warn you.
Huh?
You really are an idiot. He's truly kind. So kind that I'm charmed by him from the bottom of my heart. Because he even gave a warning to you, who made such a fool of him and picked a fight with him.
What? What's wrong with you all of a sudden, Shinori? You're different from usual.
I've always been like this, you know? But I hide it. If I'm too clingy, he'll hate me. And I absolutely don't want to let Chihaya get away. Right?
Yes, no one ever noticed, but Shinori's true nature was a yandere. However, she was aware that heavy affection is easily disliked, so she acted like a senior everyone liked.
So you were just playing the good girl. Damn it, women are all... Or rather, does that broke guy even have the value for you to be that obsessed with him?
I'm not saying money isn't necessary, but you, who think money is everything, probably wouldn't understand. Ever since Chihaya joined the company, I've always found his gentlemanly attitude charming. And every time I notice something wonderful about it, I record it all in this planner.
The planner that Shinori always kept close to her. Of course it has schedules written in it, but actually, more than half of its contents were records of my actions.
How you helped the organizer manage the place while everyone got drunk and useless at drinking parties. How you helped women when they were carrying heavy things. How you immediately noticed when someone felt unwell and took over for their work. It's been 4 years since I met him, and this is the 4th planner I've written about him. As I kept writing it down every day, thinking about how many charms he has, my feelings for Chihaya kept going bigger and bigger, and I couldn't stop them. Come to think of it, he was used to being considerate to women because he has a sister. And he probably grew up feeling a strong sense of responsibility to be reliable because he was raised around someone a bit eccentric. He's a truly wonderful person.
If it's being considerate to women, even I could...
What is someone saying who keeps coming on to me with misguided appeals no matter how many times I say I don't like it? In the first place, if you meant to be considerate of me, I'd like you to stay out of my way. I kept submitting requests to transfer, and finally got into the same department as Chihaya. I talked to him so many times, finally started feeling a response, and at last managed to go on a date with him. I started sensing the presence of a woman lately, so I panicked. But I was relieved to hear it was his sister. I even got to meet his sister, so everything's going smoothly. I'll just keep filing the outer moat and make Chihaya mine no matter what. So you see, if you throw your misguided anger at Chihaya and harass him, I think I'll get so mad I'll lose it. This whole thing is entirely your own fault, right?
No.
Your own fault, right?
Eek, it's my own fault. I'm sorry.
Shinori smiled enchantingly, satisfied with getting the answer she wanted. Terrified by her dark, bottomless eyes, Mandai's legs gave out, and he collapsed to the floor. As for what happened after that, Mandai, who could no longer say anything to me about the bento incident, tried to at least act like he was popular with women by giving out money. However, because he continued his extravagant spending without considering his income, his 20 million yen in savings finally dried up. Even so, he thought he could just hit the horse races again, and went as far as getting into debt to buy massive amounts of betting tickets, but it's not that easy to win.
I thought I had a talent for horse racing.
Because of his arrogance during the time he had savings, People around him distanced themselves, and there was no one left to lend a helping hand. Saddled with debt and suffering from heavy taxes the following year, his life completely turned around from glory to days of downfall.
Just make sure it goes well from here on out. I'd warmly welcome a gentle and good-natured girl like you.
Today is the last day of my sister's business trip. Since Shinori and my sister hit it off instantly when they formally met the other day, the three of us came to eat out together.
Sister-in-law! Thank you so much.
I feel like she added an extra word in there. Oh well. Next time you come, let me know with plenty of time. Maybe because she never had a younger sister, my sister dotes on Shinori, who adores her, like a real younger sister. My sister is crazy, but her family-oriented nature has never wavered. So, despite appearances, I'm actually grateful to her. Now, at the end of the next workday, when I was wondering when and where to convey my feelings. To us, working overtime in an unremarkable office, that moment suddenly arrived. Shinori, your planner, this photo is...
No, I'm sorry,
The planner slipped from her hands, and a photo of me fluttered out from between the pages. Shinori, who had been efficiently doing her work, immediately turned pale. It's completely fine. I already knew you had my photo.
Then why?
I don't know what's written in there, but... I was happy that you were cherishing a planner with my photo in it so much. Since my sister is the way she is, I'm actually used to people with strong obsessions. And rather, having the person I love care about me so single-mindedly makes me very happy. I'm sorry it took me so long. Would you go out with me? Honestly, what I can do is limited. Even so, I will do my absolute best to make you happy.
I'm so happy. I've always loved you too.
It's true that a lot of happiness can be bought with money. On the other hand, there's happiness you can get without money, and happiness that even money can't buy. That being said, money is necessary. For the sake of our future, I need to steadily stabilize my earnings and build up savings. Because just like this, I was able to unite with the woman I had always had feelings for.
Alright, Brittany here, and I feel like I need to say this. If someone is stalking you and making notes of you in real life, be careful. In a fiction and fantasy world, love is all-powerful. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I know you guys all love the yandere, and I'll see you next time. Bye!